Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 11 of What If Naruto fused with Minato, Kushina and Kurama. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, I posted a brand new series over on Anime King of What If Naruto created summoning creatures. So go over there and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode of Anime King Prince of What If Naruto created a guild in Fairy Tail, so go ahead, check out that as well guys. And also remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. Yes, that's right guys, I need 4 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and turn on that bell notifications they posted. So without further ado, what is to begin this new episode starts? The intro. So, the last part that we left off. Dosu was the only one that made it through the preliminary rounds, so he was the only one that had to look forward to for the exams. However, seeing that Naruto was a contractor of Orochimaru was not really giving him all of that information that he would know to help the Hidden Leaf Village. However, Naruto found himself surrounded by a couple dozen rude envoys. He could feel Jiraiya watching as well, ready to make his move. They attacked Naruto as Foo tried to enter Naruto's mind. However, that proved to be rather fruitless, as he was blasted out and he screamed in agony before he collapsed. Torun ended up gripping Naruto's hands as he transferred his poisonous bugs towards Naruto's skin. However, Naruto chakra ate it away like it was nothing, shocking Torun that someone chakra could actually work against his poison bugs, as Naruto knocked him senseless before he turned towards the others. However, Jiraiya used a seal that was planted on their bodies to trap Naruto in an enforcement seal, trying to break his will down. Naruto could have overpowered it by releasing his power. However, he allowed himself to be captured as Jiraiya slammed another seal into his chest, sealing away his chakra that he thought. When Naruto finally came to, he was in a room of sorts, surrounded, as Hiruzen, Danzo, and Jiraiya was in there. As Naruto was not too fruitful with Hiruzen, there was a lot of anger inside of him regarding the man. The 3 people in here, well, except for Danzo mostly, because while he was a decrepit man, he showed that he was decrepit. It's not like he tried to hide it or anything. At the moment though, as Naruto stood there, chained up, he spoke to them and told them about Orochimaru invasion. Believing that it was the sand because of all the contracts coming to Konoha, Naruto explained his theory, as he told Hiruzen what a failure he was as a Hokage, as Hiruzen had a good feeling that this was Naruto, but they had no clue how it was Naruto to begin with. So for now, they could not let him go until they gather all the necessary information, but that was not going to do, as Naruto ended up breaking the seal. His chakra was too powerful, just short of using Death God Seal on him. That was the only way of completely restraining him, but none of them were able to do that. Meanwhile, that was going on. Nagato spoke to Conan as he believed that she should take a step back from this mission. She's been acting different lately. Conan blew up at him, as she was rather loud and angry at him for some reason, as he never expected her to react this way. He took in all of that as he told her to keep on doing what she was doing. However, now he seriously believed that this Naruto has corrupted her mind. He didn't know what was happening with her, but he was gonna stop this Naruto by any means necessary, with or without her involvement, because he was clearly getting to her, and he could not allow that. Maybe he was being selfish, but he did not care, as that was what he said and that is what gonna happen. Skipping back to Naruto, he was able to use his technique to flash out of there as they appear on top of the monument. That is where he found a crying Sakura, as he asked her what was wrong. She remembered him as she asked him what he was doing here. Not to mention she asked him if it was true, but he told her no, as she figures Naruto was truly dead. As she remembered him asking her out on this spot one time as a date, but yet she had always turned him down. Feeling sorry for her, Naruto told her that everything was gonna be alright, as she wouldn't be sad forever. He then proceeded to leave when she was not looking, as he was gone. She was having a rough time with her team, however, so far. She was bearing through it. However, the connection that they barely had was now completely severed, as she just didn't know how she could be a ninja anymore. Things were not looking good, but yet she had vowed that she would make sure that she would carry on being a ninja for Naruto, but the time was getting so thick and tense. Skipping back to Danzo, hearing that Naruto had vanished. Danzo truly believed that that was Naruto. He didn't know how, but that child had turned into this warrior that was helping Konoha from the shadows. He didn't know what his ace was, given the fact that Konoha, well, they never treat him good. After all, he was a witness to that. Harrison was feeling a bit depressed, but he knew that he had to keep his mind focused and sharp. After all, what is to come has not come yet, and if he was lounging about, well, he would let Konoha fall. But he would not let that happen, so he had to keep focused. While that was going on, Naruto had left as he was passing through the borders. That is when he heard a crash as he turned. Following the source, Naruto came across a girl. As her eyes were closed, as she seemed unconscious. Her entire body seemed exhausted, like she was running for a while. She had cuts and scrapes. As Naruto heard a lot more coming. Walking over to said girl, he didn't know why, he just picked her up. He threw her over his shoulder and he was gone. A few seconds later, a bunch of talking ninjas arrived as they searched the area. However, they could not find her anywhere. The leader of said group told him to move out immediately. So yeah guys, it was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the play, check it for yourself, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels guys, not 3 anymore, 4. Animaking, making 2, and making 3, and then making prints, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without wasting no more time, what do you say we jump right into new episode start now guys. Her mind was groggly as she came to. The last thing she remembered was running and running. She was attacked and she had to run, knowing that if they catch her they would punish her severely after what she did. So she had to run. She was attacked from all sides. She got hit. However, she did not turn back, she just kept on running, knowing that if they catch her, after the accident of what happened, she would be done. The torture would be much worse than anything she has ever went through. She heard movements. She figured she passed out and they had captured her. However, she felt her body. She could move. That meant that she was not restrained. So then, that means there was just one person. She could take him. As she prepared herself, she was on something soft though. However, the moment she felt him coming closer, her eyes shot open, showing orange eyes. She leaped off the bed, mint green hair flashing to the side as her fists launched towards him. With as much chalk as she could gather, she had to make a quick escape. However, to her surprise, something that she was not expecting happened. He caught her fists, and he barely even moved. Wasting no time, she backpedaled as she pulled her arm back and swinged her leg. However, he ducked underneath the blow, but she felt her feet pass through his hair, knocking the towel off his head. "Hey, watch it," she heard the voice, as her eyes took in the surroundings fully. The next thing she knew, something hit her right in the stomach, throwing her back down towards the bed. As Foo blinked as she looked around, taking in the appearance of her captor. However, what she saw caused her cheeks to turn a bit red. In surprise and confusion, the 15-year-old Foo saw a man in front of her. His long red hair was now unkempt, and it was wet as well. He was not wearing a shirt, exposing a well-toned six-pack and a perfectly proportional body. It wasn't too fit and it wasn't too meaty either. It was lean and actually, in her opinion, perfect. Granted, she hadn't seen much people like that before, without a shirt, but still. He was wearing black pants and that alone. However, she could not let that deter her. She flipped off the bed as she rolled to the other side, seeing the window. She leaped to break right through it, however. Her hand was caught. The next thing she knew, she was picked up off the ground as he lifted her over his head and slammed her down on the giant king-size bed. Before she could utter a word, he flashed through hand signs and slammed his hand in her stomach. The next thing she knew, her body felt like something shot through her veins, immobilizing her. She bit her lip as she ground her teeth as she tried to break free. However, there was a marking on her stomach that prevented her from tapping into the reserves that she would need to break free. He had hit his hand right on her stomach, messing with her whole system, and not to mention she was now paralyzed. The only thing that she could move was her head. Damn it, she heard him curse. As he went back to the bathroom, she struggled for a long while as she heard the water turn on. Fearing the outcome of him returning and having his way with her in a state of unable to move, the idea brought tears to her eyes, afraid of the prospect to come. Slowly but surely, she heard footsteps once again. As she turned to see him stepping out, this time he was drying his hair. As he just looked down towards her confused. "Why are you crying?" he asked. "You won't get away with it," she said. "With what?" he asked her. "Whatever you're planning to do to me," she said. "Whatever I'm planning to do with you?" "Oh, I see now." His face instantly morphed into one of disgust. He seemed really angry about her suggesting something like that. "For one thing, I'm not some sleazy pervert that would do that to a child," said Naruto. "I know that this world is a messed up place, but not everyone is bad. You know that, right?" Fu was now confused. "Then who are you?" she said. "Why am I here? Where am I?" she asked. "Well, for one thing, I saved your life. Those guys, whoever they are, they were hunting after you. And I found you unconscious after you collapsed, so I brought you here. So once you're ready to leave, you can go." You're not holding me against my will," she said. As Fu then looked down, as she noticed something. Her body was bandaged a bit. The wounds, the cuts, all of them were bandaged. They were probably healed by now, but still. You did this?" she said. "They were looking a bit nasty. Not to mention the beach inside of you. Seemed like it would take a long while to heal you because of the way that your seal is set. So I decided to just cover them up," he said so nonchalant as he returned to drying his hair. He went back to the bathroom, leaving her there confused. He knew that she was a Jinchuriki, and yet he seemed so calm about it. Was this some kind of trick, she wondered instantly? Was he playing her? She heard the blow dryer turn on, judging by the sound. Given his long, luscious hair, she figured that that was what he was doing. A few minutes later, he came back. "Have you calmed down?" he asked her. "Not to be a bit girlish, but to me, my hair is one of my main features, and I really like it," he said to her. "So if you go after my hair once again, I'm gonna slap you." As Fu looked towards him, finding the whole thing odd, she wondered who was this person. "So, have you calmed down?" he asked her. Yeah," she said. "Let me go." As she wondered if he would really release. She felt like she could move once again. You're really not gonna... What? Kidnap you?" "No," he said. "Haven't I told you that already? Jeez. Seems like you want to be kidnapped or something." "So you saved me," she said. "Well, I did found you. So I decided to bring you here, seeing that those guys look like they wanted to do something rather, well, unpleasant to you." Fu looked down. "It was an accident," she said. "What was?" Nothing," she said, looking away. As she kept on staring at him, he looked towards her. "What? You know I'm a Jinchuriki, right?" "Yeah," said Naruto. "Well, why don't you care?" "Am I supposed to?" "I mean, people in this world, from what I've been told, if I ever step foot outside without a guard or something, I would be kidnapped, used, like I'm a pawn or a weapon." "Your village told you that, huh?" he said to her. "Yeah," she said. "Well, they were most likely saying that to keep you in line, but it's kind of true. Most people would pay a hefty sum, kill, slaughter people to get their hands on someone like you. But I don't need any of that. Besides, why search for another power when you're already the greatest, said Naruto. Huh, you're quite cocky, she said. Oh, that's got nothing to do with it, he said. She watched as he made his way towards the closet. Several clothes were thrown her way, as she had to slap them away. As she watched him pull out a red shirt, before he proceeded to put it on, long sleeve, with black markings along the sleeves. It was then that they heard a grumble. Turning around, Naruto looked towards Foo. A small blush of embarrassment came on her face, as she looked down towards her stomach. Figures you'd be hungry, he said. I was just gonna get something to eat myself. Come on, I'll treat you. As he started to walk away, as Foo watched him leave, wondering if she should actually go after this person. Why was he being so nice? But she knew if she were to go back now, things would be even worse on her. And besides, he saved her. Maybe she should. Her stomach grumbled once again, showing her that she was incredibly hungry. She hadn't eaten in a while. As she went after him, closing the door behind her, realizing that she was in a fancy hotel. She felt out of place here, not to mention the way that she was dressed, and the bandage around her looked like she just came out of a war or something. However, she watched as the individuals greeted the man in front of her. They seemed to know him quite well. She said nothing and she followed behind him, as they made their way towards a restaurant. Given the time of the day, the place was not that packed. There was just a few people inside. She watched as he walked over towards one of the table. She came over and he gestured for her to sit, so she sat down. As a waiter then came over and handed them 2 menus as she took one of them, uncertain about what she should. Go ahead. Order what you want. As I said, it's on me. Anything? She said to him, looking a bit surprised by that. Yeah, said Naruto. Are you sure? She asked him. I can eat a lot. So can I, said Naruto. But as I said, order what you want. Why are you being so kind to me? She said. What can I say? Look like you've been through a rough spot. I've been there, so if I can help someone out like that, I don't see why not. You know, a part of me still don't believe that this is real, and that you're just doing some elaborate scheme to allow me to drop my guard, but a part of me wants to trust you, she said to him. Believe what you must. See the waiter coming back, you better order. Right, she said as she looked down. There was so much enticing things on this. She decided not to go anything too fancy or anything too big. She didn't want to impose. He was already being so kind already. So she merely ordered a small meal. However, he proceeded to order something enormous. Foo was shocked by the amount of food that he ordered, but she did not question him. So, what's your name? She said. The name is Naruto, he told her. Naruto, she thought. Where have I? Foo's eyes went wide in shock. Sweat started to appear on her brow as she gripped onto the end of the table. I see you know who I am, he said to her. You're the one they call the tail beast killer. I heard them spoke about you. Are you gonna kill me? She said. Jeez, you do one thing one time and you get a reputation for it. I'll have you know, the Jinchuriki I fought and killed was a mad tyrant that was killing half of his people who were innocent because he went insane. In that I'm the good guy. However, people blow it out of proportions, he said as he leaned back. As Foo looked at him. So, you're not gonna... Of course not. Look, I don't know what you've been told or what is going on, but I'm not gonna harm you. As the waiter came and brought some of the food, Foo watched as the food that he had ordered came in, while she was left with her small dish. However, to her confusion and shock, he slid portion of the food over to her. What are you doing? I know that you will be too afraid to order as much as you want, so I went and do that for you. Wait, you did this for me? She said. As Naruto slided towards her. I know that is how I would react. Well, not now, but in the past, he said. Foo looked at him, confused why he was being so nice, why he was being so generous. This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why you're helping me. I've done nothing for you, you barely even know me, she said, She was having a hard time accepting this, given the life that she went through. You're a Jinjuliki. Jinjulkis suffer horrible life all over. Let's just say I understand what it means to suffer a horrible life because I had one, he said to her. You did, she said. Yeah, but enough about me. The food's getting cold. She knew he was trying to change the subject, as it seems. He's went through something bad. Thanks, she said, as she started to dig in. She didn't know why, but a part of her really trust this guy. Even after what she knew about him, she heard the rumors. Naruto the TLB's killer, with his red hair to match. She had to say his hair was quite beautiful, as she eats. Foo stuffed her face as she quickly gulped down everything that was in the vicinity. She was really hungry. Throwing modesty out the window, she started to gouge down on the food. It's been some time since she ate. When was the last time you ate, said Naruto, seeing the way that she was eating, as that made her feel embarrassed as she took the napkin and wiped her mouth. Sorry, she said. You have nothing to apologize for. If you're hungry, go ahead. I'm just wondering. Oh, a few days ago, she said, as he simply nodded and allowed her to eat. Once they were finished with their meal, she followed him as he went through the restaurant, as she was stuffed. As she found herself outside in a strange area. It was a city, but it seemed so extravagant. The people around, the clothing that they were wearing, it made her feel out of place. But he was heading towards the forest. An idea popped up in her head. Hey, she said, as he glanced behind him. Would you mind sparring with me for a bit? Why, he asked. Well, your name is all over the world. Even in my village, a lot of people were talking about you. And they were saying how strong you were. How unstoppable you were. The rumors were going crazy. And well, if I'm strong as you, if I can ever hope to reach that level of strength one day, people will respect my name. And they will know that I'm strong enough for them not to interfere with me and just let me be. So you want to become stronger to be alone, said Naruto. No, it's not like that, she said. It's just what? She sighed. You already know I'm a Jinjulki. So I might as well tell you. The village I'm from, people doesn't really like Jinjulki there. After what happened in the past. So you can understand that I've been through a lot, she said. However, recently, the hatred has been increasing for some reason. And I haven't even done anything different. I try to stay out of their way and avoid them as much as possible, but I just can't sometimes. I was practicing on my own to get stronger. However, these guys showed up. I tried to ignore them and return to doing what I was doing, but one of them got in my way as I was performing our technique. He got hurt really badly. I didn't mean to, he just got in the way. I ran straight home. Later that night, a group of people arrived to my home and they set it on fire. I had to run. And they caught up with me right to the edge of the village. They had been planning this. Seems the guy I hurt was someone important to the village. But just like the others, he arrived to make me feel as little as possible. To talk down to me to make sure I know that they own me. As Naruto listening all that he was saying, he was trying to make his claim on me there. To know that I can't go anywhere. Now that I think about it, I believe I understand why they've been acting this way recently. I became a ninja, and I start to embark on missions outside the village with my team and my sensei, who doesn't like me either. And I kind of explored a bit on one of my latest missions, and they thought I had run away. So when I came back, they had been really angry, really angry, and they placed more guards to watch me. So the guy I hurt had came to make sure I know that I didn't have anywhere else outside this village, that if I stepped foot out there, they would hurt me. But I was trying to ignore him and I wasn't focusing, and I accidentally hit him with my technique. When I tried to flee, they wanted to attack me to show me that if I ever go against them, they're gonna, well, kill me, as they said. It's all I know. And I know if I fight back, it's just gonna become worse because I have nowhere else or no one. However, this time they really wanted to hurt me, so I ran away. I tried to run as fast as possible, but their attacks, some of them got me, but I was able to slip through. And I guess I ended up falling from unconsciousness. So, you didn't want to hurt any of them, so you limited yourself, said Naruto. Yeah, pretty much, she said. There was an unreadable look on his face. Hey, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. So what now, he said. You can't go back there. But I can't really go anywhere else. I'm just gonna accept the punishment. I hope it's not too bad. I'm just gonna go back home. I realize the longer I stay out here, the more they will send their people after me. And they won't stop until they get me back. It's better if I just go. Thank you for all that you've done for me so far. I never knew that there were such good people as you in the world. I'll never forget this, she said. And she gave him a smile. What about the spar, he said. Sorry, if I stay too long, they will get even more mad. Goodbye, she said as she extended wings from her back. Beautiful fluttering wings as she flew off. As Naruto watched her leave. Time skip. Realizing that she was not too far away, Foo was able to return back. Once you were up in the air, you were able to spot out landmarks that you knew rather well. She would have asked for directions, but she was already late. As she was able to find landmarks and able to take her way, it took her at least a full half an hour to even recognize something this strictly close to what she remembered, and it took her another hour to get back. Once she arrived towards the location though she landed, as she started to walk, arriving towards the massive waterfall, immediately she was surrounded. Ninjas that were out searching for her arrived. Foo! An angry, pissed off voice said. As a large man, large because of her comparison, he had dark hair, a scar on his cheek. He was her sensei. Where the hell did you go? He said to her. Fear in her eyes, he struck her across the face. The others looked at her with anger and disgust like she deserved this. I warn you not to do something like this. When will you understand properly that you're the property of the hidden waterfall? No one else, nothing else. You know that you will be punished by the High Council for this, right? And there's no escaping your fate. He reached on as he grabbed her by the arm, as he yanked her to her feet. Foo just slowed down. Do you understand me? He said. She nodded her head. Yes, I do, she said. Knowing if she was too quiet, he would be more angry. As he grabbed her and started to walk away with her. You better pray they have mercy on you. But after running away, which is the greatest taboo, you know you do not deserve any, he said to her. Foo just remained quiet as he dragged her along. However, her foot tripped on a stone as she ended up falling. Her nails slightly scratched his arm, causing the man to get rather upset than before, like extremely angry for at least 0 reasons. The others had called for the search to come to an end because Foo was back. When they saw what happened, they quickly drew their weapons, looking like the demon was trying to attack them. However, Foo looked up at him with fearful eyes. I didn't mean to. You little, as he raised his arm, clenching his fist. She closed her eyes. That is when she heard a cry of pain. As she slowly creeped her eyes open as she saw. Her sensei arm was gripped by the wrists. By Naruto, she said in surprise. As Naruto was holding on to the wrist of her sensei. The man was surprised. So were the other waterfall ninjas. They heard what Foo said though. Wait, Naruto? The tail beast killer? You! What are you? Naruto chopped the man in his throat, causing him to gurgle as he gasped. Stepping back, Foo looked up with frightened eyes. No, don't! As Naruto looked down towards her. It's alright. You don't need to be afraid of these monsters. As the sensei stepped forward. You have no idea what you're doing, he said. I suggest you stand down. This has nothing to do with you. And remember this. You're just a man. on your own. Do you really want to go up against the full force of Taki? As he saw Naruto look down towards Fu, a smirk came on his face. Now get out of the way so I can return that thing back to its proper... BAM! The ninjas were shocked. So was Fu. That last comment had pissed Naruto off greatly. And in doing so, he might have put a bit more pressure behind his punch than he would have liked. And not to mention the chakra in his hand. Instead of hitting the man away, it just went through him. The ninjas were shocked as Naruto's entire arm had ripped through his back, tearing through his chest. Fu was startled. The Taki ninjas all charged in instantly. The first two to come, they pulled out blades as he sliced towards Naruto. However, he slapped the right blade to the side and jumped before he slammed his heel right into the other one's throat, caused him to gurgle before Naruto flipped. His hands touched the ground as he came over with a dropping double kick, smashing their head in the earth. He then had to twist as a water bullet shot past him. Naruto spun as he caught the blade in his palm. The ninja was shocked as Naruto broke the thing and stabbed it into his throat. He then proceeded to grab the man by his face and threw him right into the incoming attack of a water ball. The man screamed out in pain as Naruto flipped over a strike before he reached and grabbed the man by his neck and yanked him down, dropping his boot right in the man's stomach as well. Three more jumped in as Naruto was gone when the attack slammed into the area, effectively killing their own. However, Naruto appeared behind the first and snap! Naruto broke his neck in an instant. The second one threw himself towards Naruto with a blade, as Naruto ducked underneath it before he reached and gripped the man by his throat and picked him off the ground. He then proceeded to land several hard punches into his stomach, blasting him away as he crashed into the wall. The commotion caused more Taki ninjas to come out of the waterfall, showing that the secret hideout was right there. The illusion, not to mention a bit of genjutsu marking the area, as Naruto could not be tricked by that though. They rushed out as they saw their comrades being destroyed. Fu sat there on her knees watching all of this, with a confused shock, flabbergasted look on her face as she couldn't believe that Naruto was doing all of this. She looked towards the body of her sensei. The amount of time that the thought popped in her head to kill this man, it was so great, and Naruto has done it. He has freed her from that man tyranny. However, he has now made himself a target of Taki, and he has become an enemy because of her. He is willing to risk his freedom, his safety because of her, someone he barely knew. And yet here she was just on the ground, afraid. She saw them trying to gang Naruto from behind. Knowing that he was still strong enough to handle himself, she still wanted to do something. For her entire life, they have put her through misery, they have put her through suffering, and yet this one individual just arrived. And he was willing to risk everything to save her from these people, knowing that he would get on their bad side and be placed in their bingo book, but yet he did not care. And here she was, limiting herself, lowering herself, because of these people who saw her as a monster, nothing more, nothing less. She's been through so much just to protect them, just to make sure that she was in line. She's put herself through hell, and yet they still treat her like this. Fu blinked as she found herself in a strange area. It was a wide open field. Above her there was a cage, a gigantic cage, as a buzzing was loud. Her wings spread from her back as she flew straight up to the cage, where there was ceiling tags all over it. It was then that she heard a voice. "What do you want, child?" The voice was oddly feminine. As Fu peeped into the cell that the Biju was captivated in. "I need your help. I need your power." "For what now?" "To aid those humans who seek to make your life miserable than before." "No. To fight them." "Really?" the voice said. "I was wrong," said Fu. "I thought they could change. You said that you would help me to get rid of them, to help me fight back, but I was so afraid. I had nowhere to go. I had no one. So I resigned myself to my fate. And for that I'm sorry. But now I need your help. There's someone out there, someone who's trying to help me, and I need to help him as well. I know that you're unaware of all of this, because of how tight they made the seal. But once this is over, I promise I'll free it up a bit, so you can at least stretch your wings. A laughter could be heard. Well, as long as you're gonna make those humans pay for what they did to you, by all means, here you go. Chakra started to emit from the bars. As Foo snapped her eyes open back in the real world, immediately, her skin started to take on a reddish hue. Everything in Taki was alerted by this. Not that they weren't already, but Foo was making it worse. As Foo looked up as she got to her feet, in the short span of a few seconds that she was in there, bodies were littering the place. However, now they turned their sights on her. "Demon, what are you doing?" one of the men said. "You know you should." Foo rushed towards him. The man was surprised, thinking that she punched him right through the wall. The others were shocked by that. Immediately, several other ninjas emerged, followed by a man, the leader of this village. His name was Shibuki. He was the leader of this village. He was the one that made her always knew that she belonged to this village. He had tried to cover it up, tried to make it look genuine, but she had seen through his lies and confronted him only on that. That is when he made her know that if she ever decided to leave this place, she would be hunted and killed. "Foo, what the hell are you doing?" he said, his tone filled with anger as he looked towards her. "I'm done," she said. "You're done? I'm done following your rules. I'm done doing what you say. I'm done." Shibuki looked around. "You did this," he said, looking at all the bodies. "No, that would be me." Shibuki turned as he saw one of his ninjas got his neck snapped by an individual. "Who the hell are you?" "The name is Naruto. Nice to meet you." "Naruto? Wait, you're that tail-beast killer, aren't you? What the hell are you doing near my village?" "Well, for one, your people are being rather disrespectful, so I decided to teach them a lesson. For the other, you've abused that sweet girl over there long enough. She's done with this place, you got that?" Shibuki looked at him with a snarl. "You really think that she will leave? Come on, Foo. You know that this is not right. Leaving this place will only bring you misery and anguish. It won't be long before you find yourself dead on the road. Is that what you want?" "It's better than staying here," she said, her body still covered in a cloak. "Now listen to me, child." As Naruto turned his gaze fully towards the man, "I suggest you watch your tone while speaking before I rip that godforsaken tongue of yours out. You dare speak to me like this? I will have your head for this." "Oh, you think so?" said Naruto. "Well then, leader, let me show you the difference between you and I. Let me show you why I'm not someone to trifle with." Upon saying that, the ground underneath Naruto cracked. Fu was shocked despite having her cloak. Her body was pushed back by the incredible force. She heard a confused voice. "What is this?" said Komi. Sounding rather shocked. "What's going on?" said Fu. She covered her face. Shibuki was paralyzed in fear. His men, they were blown away as hundreds of chains started to skewer everything around Naruto. Shibuki had to leap away as he watches countless of his men being slaughtered within seconds. The chakra that came from Naruto was like a tidal wave. Shibuki couldn't stop his hands from shaking. It was like he was staring at an unmovable mountain of pure raw chakra. That is when Naruto vanished. Shibuki, for all the strength and speed that he possessed, was unable to keep up as his throat was grabbed and he was smashed head first into the earth as Naruto stomped on his chest. "You see now, compared to me, you're rather pathetic. I don't give a damn about your people or what you choose to do after this. But come after me and die," said Naruto as he applied more force. "After all, I'm not above slaughtering everyone in your village just to make my point go across," said Naruto as he moved his feet from his chest. As he was really ticked off, usually he kept his cool, but these people, they were treating her really badly. And what could he say? He sympathized with her, and he wanted to hurt them for it. He wanted to hurt them badly. But he's done enough, it seems, as the remaining members were in fear of his power. Countless bodies were all over. As Naruto walked straight towards Fu, None of them got in his path. He held out his hand towards her. She looked towards him as she hesitantly took it. The Bijou chakra was not even affecting him, and they were gone in a yellow flash. As Shibuki stood there wide eyes, couldn't believe what he was seeing. That flash. The tension vanished in the air though, as he was gone. Time skip. 2 weeks later. It took 2 weeks for the news to spread around. For one thing, Taki immediately placed Naruto in their bingo book, so he was now a wanted individual. While Taki and Konoha had a peace treaty, they weren't exactly allies, so they can't go reaching out for help. The second Hokage had been the reason why they weren't allies to begin with, as Taki had sent someone to assassinate the first Hokage, and that person was surely humiliated, but as kind as Hoshiyama was, he did not kill the person. He ended up fleeing away though. And the second Hokage made sure that they would not ally themselves with them, but Hoshiyama decided to give them the Seven Tails, to keep them docile because of their close proximity to the Land of Fire. However, they got what they wanted, and for then, they did not wage in a war or go against Konoha, so that was a good thing. News spread around the Elemental Nation about the attack, the countless lives that were taken. Rumors even got out that he took the Jinchuriki away from them. At the moment, 3 individuals are currently discussing what was going on. These 3 individuals are none other than Conan, Nagato, and the so-called Madara Uchiha, as they all sat down in a dark room. I presume that you all heard about what happened, said the masked man as he looked towards the 2 of them. It seems like he's become a thorn in our side already. He's taken hold of the Seven Tails, and he's now off the map. However, he said, we have an ace up our sleeve, as he looked towards Conan. I believe that you know where he is. Yes, she said. Well then, what have you gotten to tell me? It's been some time now. I still do not know if he's a Jinchuriki or not. I have never seen him use any Bijou power before. However, from what the Talking Ninjas were able to gather, his chakra was so dense that it resembled a tailed beast. That is a rumor that is going around. So all this time and you've got basically nothing, the masked man said. He's not a trusting person, said Conan. And if I was acting a bit too antsy and pushing things, he would have figured me out and turned against me instantly. At least I know where he is. Well, I suppose you're right on that. Madara noticed something. A bit of a tension between these two, but he said nothing about it. Conan, said Tendo, why don't you go and plan for your next encounter with Naruto? We can't afford to have you slip up right now, given that he's taken one of the tail beasts, and we have no idea what he has planned. So why don't you go and plan to find out how you're gonna approach the subject of finding out what he's up to, and where he's taking the girl. Conan realized that he was dismissing her. It's like he didn't want her in the meeting. She frowned at that, as she seemed not to like the idea of him doing that to her one bit. In fact, she was insanely pissed off. However, she reined in her anger. I'll do that, she said. She got to her feet and left. Madara said nothing about that. However, Nagato turned towards him. We need to remove her off this mission. What do you mean? Don't you trust her? It's not about that. She's been acting strange. We have no idea what she's doing with this individual, or what she's up to. Sounds like you're a bit jealous. Tendo gave the man a dangerous look, like he was about to kill him. But Madara simply pushed it off like it was nothing. Despite the situation, she's our only hope of finding Naruto Uzumaki. Making her angry is not the suitable thing to do right now. It does not matter. I will find where the next time she'll meet up with him, and bring him in once and for all, myself. And for that I will need your assistance. As Madara raised eyebrows at that, the god needing help from a lonely mortal. I do not need your endeavor in my battle. Just your ability for transportation. That is all I seek. I will end this once and for all. I will get the information myself. She's not gonna like this, you know, said Madara. The result is all that we seek. Her feelings are not important at the moment, said Tendo. Madara knew that he was jealous. Seems like he was not getting the undivided attention that Conan used to give him, so he wanted to cut the connection between her and this person. But he wondered though to himself, has Conan fallen for this individual? Was she going against the Akatsuki planning? As he wondered how much could he trust her. However, he knew himself that this was not going to end nicely. She would retaliate. However, he wondered if their friendship can withstand this. After all, he would kill her himself if she decided to betray the organization. He couldn't have her or anyone get in his way. He would slaughter anyone to achieve his goals. Thought Madara to himself. It shall be done, he said, as he looked towards Tendo. Meanwhile, it has been 2 weeks since the disappearance of Naruto. Hiruzen thought as he sat in his chair. He had Jiraiya doing some gathering of information on the sand, and just in case he spoke to the council. They had contingency plans prepared just in case, as they had no idea when Orochimaru would show up. However, the finals was the biggest clue. But Hiruzen had a lot of backlash to worry about right now. Recently, Taki had placed Naruto in their bingo book as a wanted ninja. A bounty for 45 million Ryu was placed on his head. The sum had to be a lot because a lot of people knew that he was strong, so they had to give a lot to make people go after him. But that was surely a lot. With that kind of money, well, people would try to take his head. This was bad. Hiruzen felt rather upset with himself. He had felt the hatred, the anger that came from the boy, and it made him know that Naruto truly hated him. He knew that was Naruto, there was no change in his mind. He just didn't know what happened to him. It was like somehow he mixed with Minato, as his facial features looked like a mix of them, but his red hair was from Kushina. The thought of them somehow mixing was a possibility, but it made no sense. How would that even be possible? He still didn't know, and because of certain, mistakes, he wouldn't be able to get his hands on him to find out how. After all, Naruto was long gone. He wasn't sure if he would be here for the finals, but maybe there was a chance of him speaking to him once again. However, that was not so, foolproof, he thought to himself. But still, he just wanted to make this right before his time eventually came to an end. The more time that passed, the more he felt like a utter failure, to be exact. Fail as a Hokage, fail as a teacher. He's failed so much. As he remembered Kushina last, dying breath to watch over her son, and yet he failed even her. How much more can he fail, he thought to himself, as he sighed heavily. Time skip. As Naruto nose could smell food as it brought him out of his sleepy state. As he slowly opened his eyes, the door creaked open as she slipped inside. As she had changed her clothing, she was now wearing a black t-shirt that covered her midsection. She was wearing a white skirt with black shorts underneath. Her feet was bare because she was inside, as she was carrying a tray. As Naruto turned his head towards her, Fu greeted him with a bright smile. "Good morning," she said. "I made you breakfast." As she brought it over and placed it down. Because she had lived on her own for a majority of her life, she had to learn how to cook and fend for herself, so she was a pretty good cook. As Naruto rather enjoyed her meals as he flipped off the bed, as he picked up the toast and stuffed it in his mouth, as he made a humming sound to show his pleasure of the food. "Wonderful as usual," he said. "Thank you." As Fu was happy, really immensely happy. No one ever appreciated her or appreciated the things that she did. For the past 2 weeks she has been with Naruto, as they had been moving all over the continent. from here to there, moving to different hotels. Sometimes they circle back around. However, the thing was, Naruto did not care which part he visited, before and after. He told her that he did not care about who came after him. It doesn't matter how strong they were, he would destroy them all. And he wouldn't let anything happen to her. However, Fu wants to become just as strong as him, so she can protect herself as well, and she wouldn't be a hindrance to him. That is why she started to speak to Komi a bit more recently, upon her new development. Komi has been a bit silent though, as he hadn't mentioned Naruto one bit, even though she had allowed him to feel the outside world. While Naruto did, he was able to loosen her seal, allowing her to access more of her Bicho chakra, and he was content about not talking about it. Not that she minded anyway, as they were here in a 5-star hotel. As Naruto picked himself up, well, he said, "I'm gonna get washed up." "Yeah, you do that," she said. As he made his way to the bathroom, he carried his clothing inside seals. Whenever he arrived at the hotels, he always spat them out. Fu made her way towards the dresser and the drawers. As she opened them, she didn't even know what she was doing. Here she was picking out clothes for him, like they were family or something. On the contrary, they were staying together now. He didn't seem to mind having her around, and she was rather grateful because without him she didn't have anyone or anywhere to go. However, she didn't want to be a burden, so she was gonna help as much as she could. As she proceeded to look over the clothing, he has some really expensive stuff. Not to mention, he recently bought some clothes for her, and she kind of went a bit crazy with his spending limit, as she had never seen such wonderful clothing before. However, he paid the price like it was nothing, and told her to pick what she pleased. So she got some new clothes, a lot of it. She picked out one of his black pants, with red streams going down the side. He really liked red, it seems. Well, his hair was a dead giveaway, as she picked out one of his red t-shirts, with a black swirl around it, as she believed that it looked pretty good. So far, she did not know that much about him. Well, they just recently met, so maybe there need to be some more trust in between them, and then they can fully know each other. She didn't know what was gonna happen in the future, or how far this would go, or if they would stay like this for a long while, but she preferred it this way, as she really enjoyed hanging out with him. That is when someone knocked on the door. She made her way. "Excuse me, someone is here to see Naruto-san." She said that her name is Conan. "Conan?" "Yes." She said that she knows him very well. Fu did not know if Naruto had any other people or family. This person must know Naruto for them to know exactly where he was. "Send her up," said Fu, as she would check out the girl herself. She had her own room. The rooms were extremely large, not to mention they also had a full-size kitchen inside. This was a rather expensive hotel. You could cook on your own if you wanted, or you could order room service. However, she liked to cook. Not to mention she buys some supplies in the town that they were in, with the money that Naruto gave her. Waiting outside the room door, Fu waited as she saw the woman. And she had to say she felt a bit inadequate at the woman's beauty and her figure. She was extremely stunning. Short blue hair. She was wearing a blue top that showed off her curves, and the pants that she wore hugged her legs quite wonderfully, as her shoes looked a bit dressy. Conan noticed her as she narrowed her eyes towards Fu, seeing the door that she was in front of. The paper that she gave Naruto, the tracker, told her that he was in here. Knowing Naruto, she didn't want to come across as a bit pushy, given the last time they met up what they did. She decided to announce that she was here, knowing that he would let her in. However, she never expected to see the Jinchuriki right here. By all accounts, that had to be her, right? She thought to herself. "You must be Conan," said Fu. "Yes, I am. Tell me, how do you know Naruto?" "How do I know him?" "Who are you?" said Conan. "A friend of Naruto," she said. "Oh, I see," said Conan, looking over her. "What kind of friend?" "Just a friend." "Who are you?" "A friend of Naruto's as well." "Where is he?" "In the shower." As Conan's eyes narrowed at that. "No, not like that," said Fu, seeing her eyes narrowing. "He just wake up." "It's not like that, I promise." "You're his friend, right?" I don't really know much about him, so I don't know about his friends or family. Yeah, I'm his friend. A good friend at that. However, I never heard of you before. Well, we just recently met, so I guess you wouldn't have heard about me. And given that you found us so easily, I figured that he told you where he was. Yeah. We have a mutual contact, said Conan. So, can I see him? He's still showering, so I guess you just have to wait out here. With me, said Foo. Okay, said Conan, as she leaned back against the wall. So, what do you and Naruto do? Well, we're partners. Partners? Mercenary partners, if you call it that. Oh, I see. You like do missions together. Yes, precisely. Conan never expected this. Here she was talking to the Jinjuliki. Damn it, her mind was racking on what to do if she did not report this back in. The others will start to question her motives. Recently, Nagato has been a bit standoffish. She went and snapped at him by accident. She was just deep in her thoughts and you want to take her off this mission. When she was so close, so she had snapped at him, causing him to think about his actions. However, she felt the feeling that he was losing a bit of his trust for her. But there was no reason to do that. She was still on mission. She knew what she had to do. But yet each day she found it a bit harder to accept the fact about what she had to do. But she knew that she had to do it otherwise. She shook her head. There was no reason worrying about that after all. No one knew about her being here. And she could just lie and told him that she did not see the Jinjuliki at all. Yeah, for now, that is what she will do. She couldn't have them send in Zetsu here, or anyone else here to gather information on Naruto. After all, if they did, this wouldn't be pleasant at all, and they would try to suspend him themselves. There was still a chance of them trying to recruit him for the organization. A part of her was truly hoping that he's not the person that they were looking for, because she didn't want anything to happen to him. And yet, that part of her condemned the other part, because she knew that she had to do her mission to bring world peace. However, whenever she thought about that, she remembered what Naruto said to her. World peace can never be achieved because people would never allow it to be. But he was wrong, right? He had to be wrong. There was no way that he could be right. However, Conan was unaware that Pain and Zetsu had made their move, along with the masked man, outside, a distance away. A member of the hotel staff was currently unconscious, as Black Zetsu, attached to White Zetsu, stood above him. He turned his head towards the ground as another White Zetsu emerged. Do your thing, he said. He reached out as he touched the member of the staff as he took his appearance, completely converting himself into him. You know what to do. Find out what she's up to. The White Zetsu gave a salute as he moved off. Conan had no idea what was going to happen, or that she would be caught in a gigantic lie that would end up causing a lot more problem than she could even imagine. After all, Naruto did not know that she was using him, playing him as a fool. And the first time they met, he told her that if she betrayed him, he would kill her. And now maybe he will soon find out that this entire time she was using him for this group that he had no idea about, the Akatsuki. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, stay posted. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode, a brand new series to be exact, over an Anime King, of What If Naruto Created Summoning Creatures. And enjoy that guys. I also post a brand new episode over an Anime Prince as well. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I have 4 channels, Anime King and Making 2 and Making 3 and Anime Prince. I post What If on these channels every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump the hell out of here? See you guys soon. Peace guys.